What's going on, guys? I know I'm extremely late making a video about this movie because it came out about 2 months ago, but I have two very valid excuses. One, I was out of town, I was working and whatnot when it first came out, and two, I just wasn't digging it, man. I'm not going to lie. I didn't have high expectations from it, so I just didn't bother. But I finally sat down last night and watched it, and boy, do I have a lot to talk about. Now, before I start this review, I don't even know if this will be considered a review or not. Let me say that there will be a few spoilers, but not too much that it'll ruin the movie for you if you haven't seen it already and held off on it like I did. Who knows? Maybe what I say may actually excite you for it for whatever reason, because I'm not just going to bash the movie. There is enough of that online as it is. I thought that we'd kind of shed some positivity on this movie because there are some enjoyable moments and there are some good things about this movie. You just have to look a little extra hard to find them. So in this video, I'm going to be listing the good things and the bad things. Boy, there are many more bad things, especially if you're coming watching this movie after you've watched the anime. But let's talk about the good things first, because this movie already has enough negativity for it online. But the first good thing I have to say about this movie, the character that was almost perfect was Ryuk. Ryuk in this movie is more of a villain. Like, he's way more evil and sinister in this movie. Like, there's even a warning in the Death Note to not trust Ryuk for whatever reason from the last holder of the Death Note. Whereas in the anime, Ryuk just didn't give a fuck. He wanted to be entertained. This Ryuk seemingly wants Light to die. Like, he's almost the villain of the damn Death Note. But Ryuk steals the show every time he's on screen. It sucks, I guess, because of the CGI limitations. They didn't really want to show us a great look at Ryuk. We do see him, you know, full body, but he's usually always like in a shadowy place behind some glass or something, so we can't really see, you know, all the details on him. But he looks amazing, he sounds amazing, and Ryuk is by far one of the best things in this movie. Next up in characters, I'm going to save Light for last because, I have a lot to talk about when it comes to old Lighto. But, L. Let's address the elephant in the room. My skin is black. L is black. Does that make me excited? Not too much. You know, I really couldn't care less if L was black, white, Puerto Rican. I mean, hell, Light could have been Mexican for all I care. I couldn't care less about what race L is. All I can say is he played a magnificent L for the most part. There are some deviations from the anime L's character later on down the line, whereas L is mostly this nervous wreck. He's calm and composed. This L in the movie was almost exactly like that until some major thing happened. I'm not going to spoil it just in case you decide to watch it or haven't watched it yet. L turns almost insane. Like, he becomes obsessed with Light. Not how L was in the anime, but actually to the point of picking up a gun and actually chasing down Light. Like, that is not L-like. I mean, L gets straight up furious in this movie. He completely deviates for what L is in the anime. That's not necessarily the worst thing that could have happened, because, I mean, it is an interesting take on, like, everybody has their limits. You can push everybody over the edge, even someone as calm as L. But for the most part, like I said, up until towards the end of the movie, L, he nails his mannerisms, how nervous he is. He even picks up the phone like this. He even picks up paper the same way as he does in the anime. That was really nice to see on like an actual feature film. But L makes his appearance way more public. Like, he actually goes in front of this like Congress and announces that he's L, whereas we know the L in the anime would never do that. He's more hidden. He only showed his face to a few people. He showed his face to Light, of course, but nobody else around Light knew that he was L. In this movie, he straight up tells everybody that, hey, I'm going to bring Kira down. But for the most part, L was great. It depends on how you take his change of character at the end or around the end. Determines on if he was great overall. But I actually liked L. He was really cool. He was one of my favorite characters in the movie. He's a really great actor, in my opinion, for what the script gave him anyway. So if you're not going to watch it for anything else, check it out for Ryuk and L. Before I get to the two main characters, here are a few more good points that the movie did have. The deaths in this Death Note movie were pretty cool. Like, there was gore. Like, one of the deaths was a decapitation. Like, you saw brains and stuff. Like, it's really gory if you're into stuff like that. I really like how they did the deaths. There's even a scene where some men jump off of a building and you actually see the blood splatter. Like, the deaths in this movie is really cool. Like, it's what you would expect to see if someone's head got chopped off. That part of the movie was higher quality than some other parts. It's like that's where the budget went. But those were enjoyable deaths to watch. That makes me sound like a fucking psycho, but it's true. And as for the Death Note itself, it depends on if you liked or disliked the rules in the anime, because boy, did they change some rules. Like, Watari's name was written down in the Death Note, you know, spoilers or whatever, but whatever happened to him, I'm not going to spoil what happened to him, it went into effect with Light just writing down Watari, which was an alias, I thought, in the anime. You know, I haven't seen the anime in a while. I did rewatch some episodes, but Watari, I thought was an alias. So for Light to just write down that one name and it actually work kind of baffles me, because I thought also you needed a last name to go along with it, and apparently Watari's real name is Watari, at least in this movie. And there's quite a few other rules that weren't in the anime, to my knowledge anyway, that was in the movie, and I think it kind of changed for the worse, but there were some interesting aspects. Now, let's go on to the two main characters, Yagami Lighto and Misa Misa, or should I say Light Turner and Mia. Let's save the best for last. Let's save Light for last, shall we? Mia, the Misa Misa wannabe. Misa Misa is kind of annoying in the anime, I'm not going to lie. A lot of people really don't like her character. If you didn't like her character in the anime, boy, you are going to despise her in this fucking movie. I'm going to get around how Mia and Light joined up when I talk about Light, but as far as Mia's character, she's a bitch. She's an all-around bitch. Like, her motives aren't really that clear. She just wants to get fucked and kill people. That's basically all Mia is in this movie. She's just there. And before you get excited, there are not tits shown from Mia. There are tits shown, but it's from a dead person. So if that gets your rocks off, then there's some dead tits in this movie. But Mia, by the end of this movie, I could not stand her. The first time we were introduced to her, I was like, oh, okay, she's going through some things. You know, she's in a school where there's apparently bullying and Light stood up for her, whatever. But Mia, what she did to Light, it's not Misa Misa-like at all, because in the anime, you know, I hate to keep comparing it to the anime, but I mean, it is based off of an anime, you know? So the comparisons are kind of inevitable, but Mia is nothing like Misa. Misa would do anything Light said. She would never try to harm Light or anything, besides the one part when Misa said, if you ever find another girlfriend, I'll kill her or whatever, but that even wasn't directed towards Light. If anything, Misa's Shinigami was the one that was threatening Light more of. But Mia, at one point, she almost flat out turns on Light. For the stupidest reason, she's constantly fucking up, and she is the ultimate reason for Light's downfall in this movie, which I'm not going to spoil, but just know she fucks shit up. So Mia in this movie, fuck her. As far as the actress goes, she acted it all right, I guess. I mean, it wasn't the worst. She definitely was not the worst performance in this movie. We're about to get to that in a second, trust me. But Mia, fuck her. Let's get on to Light Turner. Timmy Turner, Light Turner, whatever the fuck. First off, this is not the Light that we knew from the anime. This is a complete, he's almost the exact opposite of Light Yagami. Light Turner is a Yagami Light wannabe. Light Turner finds the Death Note, okay, cool, he meets Ryuk, and when he meets Ryuk, he lets out the most baby back bitch ass scream I have ever heard in a movie. Like, he screams like a girl. He tries to run, scratches at the door like, dude, what the fuck? I mean, in the anime, Light was shocked to see a Shinigami there. Well, he wasn't even really shocked. He just like, whoa, and then that was it. But this one, he screamed like a female. Like, I legit think they brought in a female voice actor for that scream. Like, serious. So he's screaming, he's falling all over the place. He meets Ryuk. Ryuk explains what the Death Note is. And Light basically at first seems like he's going to follow out the anime. Like he's going to rid the world of bad people, basically. And in this one, his mom is dead. His dad is still a cop or whatever. And his mom's killer was let go. Like gone free or whatever. And that's one of his first kills, I believe. I believe he kills the person that his dad couldn't really arrest or keep in jail. So that's how he found out that the Death Note, hey, you know, it's real or whatever. But the most important aspect of Death Note, the anime, to me, was the constant mind fucking that Light and L gave each other. Like the scene where L picked up the phone that Misa dropped. Well, I think he felt on her butt and grabbed the phone out and said, hey, by the way, she's being arrested for being the second Kira, or being suspected of being the second Kira or whatever. That Misa moment right there and L moment was fucking amazing. I loved it. And that is really solidified that, hey, this anime is going to be fucking great. L and Light were constantly outsmarting each other. But in this right here, this movie, there's none of that. There's absolutely none of that. L actually confronts Light in, I think it's a diner or something, and L's like, hey, I know you're Kira. And Light is basically like, I may or may not be Kira, but maybe if I'm Kira, just if I am, maybe I want to get out of it. He basically is giving in to L like as soon as he meets L. And that, I'm like, that's not Light Yagami, man. But oh yeah, this is Light Turner. It's not Light Yagami. So all is forgiven, right? No. Hell no. Light is a pussy throughout this entire movie, basically, until the end, and I'll get to that in a second. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is a redeeming moment for Light's character. But Mia, she has more balls than Light, although she fucked shit up with those balls. That sounded hilarious. But it's you know, she didn't run away. She didn't run away from the problem. She didn't run away from L. She didn't back down to him. There's even a part where Light is almost going to cooperate with L to put the blame on Mia. I mean, that's not too far-fetched based on the anime stuff, but I mean, come on, man. How he did it in the movie, there was no psychological fucking, there was no L wins, then Light wins, there's no back and forth for those guys whatsoever. It's just L is catching up to Light. But there is one extremely dope-ass mindfuck that I did not see at the end of the movie that is extremely Light-like. Like, Light actually pulled an anime version of Light Yagami on us. He laid out a plan that I did not see coming from miles away, and until he explained it, I did not know what's going on. And I will not spoil what it is, because it is by far the most impressive thing in the movie to me besides Ryuk and L. It is a really, really well thought out plan. I'm like, damn, why couldn't Light be like this the whole movie? It's like they waited to the last 10 to 15 minutes to make Light kind of badass. And oh yeah, let me get on how Mia got brought into this Kira situation. In this movie, Light basically has a crush on Mia, and he's like, hey, guess what? I see you're kind of a psycho. I have a notebook that can kill people. You want to fuck now? That's I swear to God, that's exactly how it happened, basically. Like, he had no reason to bring her in this Kira situation. And if he didn't, he actually would have been a lot better off, because she really fucked shit up for him. She really, really did. And that's literally all they do. Like, he literally says, hey, Mia, you want to catch some popcorn? There's some criminals coming on TV tonight. We can eat popcorn and kill people. Like, what the fuck? Like, they literally write names down, then fuck. Write names down, then fuck again, and then I'm like, what the fuck, man? What is this? Personally, if I had a Death Note in the real world, no one would know about it. No one. I don't care how close you are to me. No one would know I would have it, because shit like this could happen. Mia fucked up my boy Turner. She fucked up Turner Lighto, man. He didn't have to go out the way he did. So it wasn't enough being the god of the new world for Light. He had to have some pussy to go along with it. I can understand, because vagina is a beautiful thing, but Light, come on, man. You just can't walk up to a chick and be like, hey, I got a book that can kill people. Want to marry me now? Like, what the fuck? How did he expect that relationship to turn out up until then, he really didn't know much about her at all. He doesn't, like, they didn't go out on any dates. I don't even know if he knows her last name. I don't even know if they've ever even talked to each other besides like a slight scuffle at the beginning of the movie. But he walks up to her and like, hey, come here. I can kill people. Watch this. Without even knowing she could be a cop's daughter for all he knows. Like, Light was really, really stupid in this movie. I'm not going to lie. Besides the end twist was fucking amazing. Like, I did not see it coming from a mile away. It was great. But most of the movie, 90% of the movie, Light was almost impossible to watch for me. So, like I said, Ryuk and L, by far the best things in this movie, besides Light's little plan at the end that gets revealed of how he still is where he is or whatever. And also the gore and the actual deaths from the Death Note in this movie were pretty cool too. But that's the only saving graces of this whole movie. Light and Mia, no. No, no, no. If they make a part 2 to this, which I can kind of see them doing based on how it ended, but considering the ratings it got, they probably won't. They should stay far away from this. But if Light is like how he was at the end throughout the whole second movie, then I will watch the fuck out of it. It will be enjoyable because the last thing Light did in this movie was really, really well thought out. But I highly doubt it. Like, he's a wisecracking pussy in this movie. Let's get real. But yeah, tell me what you guys thought about the movie. Are you going to check it out? If you have, what were your initial thoughts? Who's your favorite character? What did you hate worst about it? Tell me down below. This has been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.